Good day, everyone. Hope everyone is having an amazing one. This is Brianna Weatherspoon, Busy Bee, and I am here at the North Star Greenbelt Trail area in North Austin. Today's tale is a slight shift from my usual interactions here in the city of Austin, but nevertheless one that is still very much important. When I was introduced and invited on a morning hike by Craig Nazor, longtime Austin environmental activist, I knew this was a perfect opportunity as a 3.5-year-old Austinite to ask questions about the alluring green spaces that drew me here to Austin when I was first deciding to make the move and call Texas my home. Come along as I walk the North Star Greenbelt with Craig and get the download on the amazing plants that call the Greenbelt home, his work as an environmental activist, and the current problem our green spaces of Austin are now facing.
Craig Nazor's home stands out amongst the rest on his block. His front yard a unique display of endangered plants he hopes to keep alive in the city of Austin. As we made our way to the trail, he shared the history of the area, how the Gracie family once owned a dairy farm and hundreds of acres. A mile south of that, the old Kramer farm, lush land that eventually was sold off for residential communities. As soon as we hit a starting point of the trail, Nazor wasted no time in pointing out the different flora that calls the Greenbelt home, some that he planted there himself, how the river cleans itself, medicinal properties of plants he spotted along our path, how the designation of the North Star Greenbelt as a grow zone helps to combat severe flooding that takes place in Austin. As we continue to walk, it was very clear that although Craig Nazor is not a native Austinite, he is in love with the lush green spaces and is ready to fight to preserve them for the Austinites of now and future generations. He shared about his early childhood along the shores of Lake Erie, Ohio, how his environmental activism comes from his mother, and how the 1990 Austin City Council meeting, where over 1,000 citizens showed up to tell City Council to vote no on a Barton Creek development, inspired him to call Austin home. That Austin no longer exists, Nazor explained, and while the growth of the city is a good thing, the proposed changes are cause for concern, with both phases of Austin's home options for mobility and equity, or home initiatives, not factoring in increased allotment of land for green spaces. Nazor explains that the degradation of these beloved areas will be like a domino effect. More people equals more traffic in the spaces, more trash flowing into the vegetation and water. Compromised lands means these spaces won't be as efficient as doing their jobs, which is not only providing us natural spaces in our urban layout, but protecting us from severe flooding that our area of Central Texas is known for. Without a proper plan and the responsibility falling on an already strained department, Austinites can very much expect to see these spaces degrade fairly rapidly. And we are pretty blessed here in Austin, according to Nazor. He shared his counterparts across Texas have not been as lucky preserving green spaces like Austin has, and pressure at the state level is becoming increasingly difficult. As we made it back to his home, Nazor said he was preparing to attend the city council meeting the next day to continue to express his concern, and he would continue to inform Austinites, spread seeds of Sabal minor or dwarf palmetto at the Greenbelt, and push to keep Austin green.
Whether a new Austinite like myself or one who was born and raised in the city of Austin, the effort to keep these vibrant green spaces in the city falls on all of us to use our voice to do our part. You can learn more about the conservation efforts in Austin by connecting with local environmental groups, one being the Lone Star chapter of the Sierra Club, where Craig Nazor is the conservation chair. You can find them on Instagram at Texas Sierra Club, and to connect with Dr. Craig Nazor, you can email him directly at cnazor@earthlink.net. Well, folks, that's all from me today. This is Brianna Weatherspoon, Busy Bee. Until next time.